working together is gonna be legend. Wait for it.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Zero Life. My name is Sean, that's Barrett. We're going to talk about video games. Got to get this over quick because it's Derek Jeter Day and they're retiring his number. Barrett?
What's up?
Video games came out.
Video games did come out.
All right, great show. Everybody have a wonderful day. Follow me on Twitter at Sean Twister.
Hold on, wait.
His Twitter's something stupid like Chung-a-dun-dung.
Oh my god.
I should probably intro the show for real, actually, before you get into what you want to say.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Zero Life, a weekly talk show where Barrett and I discuss ongoing affairs in nerd culture. My name is Sean. With me is Barrett.
Yeah.
Alyssa's drinking water. She got bit by a spider. It looks real bad for her.
Yeah, it's looking. Her days are numbered, guys. It's really scary. So yeah, a couple things happening today. It's Derek Jeter Day.
Yes.
Where they're gonna retire the number 2.
Yes, the last single-digit number in Yankee history. Great story about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get through this without crying.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it before when I was talking. I was at Chipotle with Alyssa, telling Alyssa Derek Jeter stories and literally crying hysterical.
Yeah, like you came in and your face was still glistening with tears.
Yeah. I'm going to get through it quick so I don't cry while I tell it. Derek Jeter's first spring training, he showed up wearing like the number 90 something, and the guy who drafted him was talking to the equipment manager, and they were like, what number should we give Jeter? Something in the 80s or the high 90s? And the guy looks at him and he goes, no, you give him a single-digit number. And at the time, there were only 2 single-digit numbers all available, 2 and 6. They would go on.
6 is not as powerful.
6 is not. I mean, it was Joe Torre's number.
Okay.
One of the greatest coaches in Yankee history.
Yeah.
6 world titles, 5 world titles.
But if you gotta pick 6 or 2,
you're
gonna pick 2.
And because it's the one before the Babe, and and the equipment manager was like, but there's only 2 numbers that are single digit left, and he was like, you think he deserves it? And the guy famously went on to tell him, Derek Jeter's going to Cooperstown. He deserves the single digit number. And they give
Is that your attempt at not crying?
Yeah,
that is the weirdest attempt.
If I do that, I do the same thing when I'm gonna throw up. No. And they gave him the number 2, and he went on to become one of the greatest baseball players to ever live.
Yeah, there's I was bred hating the Yankees because
that's fine.
Yeah, because I'm not from New York, so
yeah.
And in Cleveland, we would naturally talk a lot of shit about Derek Jeter because
weird.
Well, because we hated how good he was. That was the thing,
he was, but he wasn't like A-Rod good, where he was like rubbing in your face.
He wasn't.
He would beat you and then thank you for playing.
Yeah. So we naturally talked shit about him because he was better than us, So, but yeah, I definitely respected his game, and playing for 20 years is impressive.
Yeah, we just read that statistic.
With the same team as well.
Yeah, Derek Jeter is the only player in baseball history to play over 20 seasons and never experience a losing season, which is incredible. One last little tidbit, because this isn't a sports show. Oh God, I wish it was. There was so obviously there's a huge rivalry between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. We fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
And when Boston Red Sox opened a new charity, they said whoever bid the most amount of money got to name the charity. You know what that charity was almost named?
The Derek Jeter Foundation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because a millionaire in New York City bid like $10 million to name it the Derek Jeter Foundation. And the
Boston Red Sox, biggest fuck you to Boston.
The Boston Red Sox were like, all right, well, we can't name it that. That'd be like pledging to the Trump administration and naming it like Obama 420 transgender rights. All the things that would upset them.
Yeah. Also, what's happening today? It's Mother's Day.
Yeah,
we'll talk a little bit about moms. We got a mom question coming up. But also, this is the 2-year anniversary of you and I ever meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that picture that you tweeted out where you had the long curly hair, you
Oh
look
my
like
God,
you look
the
like Hunter
super-
Pence. That was a good look. You should go back to that.
I'm thinking about that. I got to keep the sides short though, because my sides grow longer than the top of my head. So.
Yeah, that's a common problem.
And so that popped up on Facebook, where it was 2 years ago today. That kind of funny community meetup at Wing Wings, and that was the first time I met you. I met Alex O'Neill,
And
our
Woody.
good friend Woody, Eric Petralia.
Yeah, a bunch of really cool people.
Yeah, exactly.
And I changed your life. I was like, Barrett, the Batman Nolan movies aren't good. There's only one good one.
No, so that was a different day. I
Oh,
think
that was Underdogs.
when we went
That
to
was the next
Underdogs.
day,
I call it, yeah.
And you were like, I'm gonna make a video series based off of why you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And then I started BCG, I think I was starting BCG around then, but I think that conversation was the one that I was like, I want to get serious into this, and then here we are today, 2 years later. Not much has changed, just little things.
Both work at our dream jobs. Cool shirt, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. This is an old Vans shirt when we did the Star Wars collaboration. It's
That's really cool. There's
Hawaiian-
Yoda's
yeah,
on your nipple.
Yeah, Yoda is on my nipple and with some Hawaiian detail. It's the same design, actually, of that backpack. It's just like this little patch right here.
Cool. Fran really likes Vans clothing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was like kept complimenting me. I don't know if he might have had a few. He was like touching me and being like, I like your shirts.
yeah.
And I was like, Fran, I don't know, it's appropriate. But don't stop.
Yeah. So you wanted to talk about something, right?
Yeah. So Prey came out.
And we loved it. We talked about Prey last week.
Yeah, I haven't played much.
Yeah.
Because the Overwatch.
I haven't played it at all in the last
The
week.
Overwatch season is about to end, and once it ends, I'll have nothing to play for 2 weeks. So I figure I'll just beat Prey during that time.
Yep.
So I was playing through Overwatch with Fred, and that's just Overwatch. It's more of that. But with Prey, unfortunately, what seemed to have happened to our reviewer at IGN, and everything that we're about to say now, does not represent the company that we work for at all.
Yeah.
This is just strictly my opinion.
It's hot takes right here.
Because a lot of people I was talking to a lot of people about it on Twitter. We gave Prey originally a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
And not because the game was bad,
Yes.
but because the game was actually broken. Like legitimately unplayable. And I don't mean like it was hard or it was like, no, it wouldn't load.
Yeah. There was several reports. It wasn't just our reviewer who was dealing with these crashes,
Game-breaking issues.
where he would get corrupted save files and he wouldn't be able to load them.
Yeah.
And that is a big problem when you ship.
And
a
that game
like
shipped
that.
like that. It's
Yeah.
not a game we got in pre.
It's like because Bethesda famously like a couple months ago was like, we're not sending early review copies to bigger companies, yada yada yada. We might still send early copies to influencers and YouTubers and whatnot. But Bethesda's review copy thing is like, we did not get the game until basically launch.
Yeah.
And so the game launched like that, and that should be. That's something I talked to a couple of people last night about that while I was karting and throwing down some people in Mario Kart.
How'd you talk to him?
We did Discord. You know Discord?
Oh, yeah, I know Discord.
yeah.
So you used a third-party app to talk to somebody while playing a multiplayer game in 2017. I just wanted to make sure. You didn't use Nintendo's built-in voice feature?
There is no built-in voice feature.
Of course there isn't. Go buy a Switch, Sean. Fucking idiots.
Discord's pretty all right.
No, Discord's a great service.
I don't like that it didn't recognize, because I plugged in my my headphones originally, but then it was originally just Alex, Nato, and I, and they couldn't hear me. Like it wouldn't recognize my microphone on my headphones. So I had to bust out the blue microphone because I didn't want to set all that shit up just to talk to some chuckle fuckers about Mario Kart. But anyway, off topic there. I was talking to them, and like I think when you ship up a game out like that, it's like it should be represented in how it, like, because everybody wants, like, in all of these reviews, like, you'll see comments that are like, how does it perform, and like that should factor into the score and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay, that did factor into the score a lot.
Didn't perform well.
Yeah.
And it says this isn't a frame dip. This
Yeah.
isn't like, oh, it gets framey here. It's the game breaks.
Yeah.
It is completely unplayable, and you might lose hours of you playing.
Yeah.
Dan lost like something like 10 hours of him
Yeah,
playing.
and it's like that should be talked about, like Blessing Adeoye at Blessing Jr. on Twitter. He was like, hey, like, Zelda is one of my favorite games of all time, right? But if I had dealt with losing 2 40-hour saves, it probably wouldn't be. You know,
Yeah.
like that sucks.
And Dan liked the game.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, we've updated the review score to an 8.
Yeah.
So we think the game is great.
Yeah.
As a company.
Yeah,
It's universal. Pretty much everybody we've talked to.
Yeah,
has enjoyed the
everybody
game
we
a lot.
talk to really likes it.
But you have to, and people were like, well, you should have waited. Why? You can buy this game.
yeah, it's like we didn't know whether or not like
Who the fuck knows when it's gonna get
it's
fixed?
like you know, it shipped like that. There was no, it wasn't like it shipped and Bethesda was like, hey, we know about this game breaking bug, we're gonna try to fix it. It's gonna be like day 1 patch or something. Like if that had happened, then yeah, we probably like would have waited another day or something.
We did it with Watch Dogs.
Yeah,
we waited.
And so when that happens, like again, like I heard so many stories from not just like Dan, but from other people and stuff. It sounded like, to me at least, they didn't know about the bug until people hit it naturally.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's like, well, what do you want us to just ignore this big problem? It's like, no, we should talk about it. And, you know, once it was fixed, then we went back and said,
Yeah,
like,
we
okay,
amended
like
the score.
Yeah.
But there was a point in time where
we didn't know like if it was going to ever be fixed or not.
Yeah,
you know?
and
So,
you can go out and buy that game at retail.
yeah,
Spend
And get-
$60 on it.
and get fucked.
Love it and play it straight through.
Mm-hmm.
Get to that point of the game and the game will break.
Yep.
And that's our job to tell people about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a bad game.
Yeah.
A bad game eats 20 hours of playing.
Yep.
That's what a bad game does.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that if you were having a great roller coaster ride and it was like the best roller coaster and you didn't realize that at the end of the roller coaster it just
stopped.
dips you off into a volcano and you die.
Oh yeah.
Would
Well,
you say
I
that's
think that's
a good?
very? I think that's 2 very different situations there.
Would you be like, well, I really loved it right up into the point where it killed me? No, it would be like, well, that sucked. At the
Yeah.
end of it, you fall into a volcano and die.
Yeah.
That's how that works, Barrett. He
It is.
loved the ride, and then his save just died.
Okay. All right. I get the metaphor there, but it's 2 totally.
Burned alive in
Okay.
lava, suffocating. They rebuild you with a black metal suit, a lot of leather. Don't know what that was about. Voice breather.
Oh, you're doing Vader. I thought you were doing. I thought you were going to the RoboCop sort of angle.
Robo.
there.
When the fuck did we run off Robo? Have you ever seen RoboCop Dick Shooter?
No.
Man, I have something to show you that's gonna scar you.
Oh no, I'd rather not. But anyway, Prey is really cool. We haven't played it because it's been a really busy week and whatnot. So I do want to get back to it. I just don't know when I will.
Yeah, I plan on playing it when the Overwatch season ends in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And that's exciting.
Yeah, Prey is at this weird time where it's like Mario Kart came out, and then I only paid attention to Mario Kart, and then another game came out yesterday. They did
As of this recording.
while you guys were watching this, a game came out yesterday on Tuesday. That's probably going to take another bunch of my time up, which is Injustice 2.
Why is that gonna think you beat it already?
So I beat it already, and I'm totally fucking excited to play it at home again, play through the entire thing again. Because here's the thing, I love Injustice 2. I fucking love the game, and like playing through it, I forgot how much I loved the first Injustice, and it's this weird thing where, if you don't know, our good friend Brian Keshinger helps work on the game. He's
Collision Engine.
He worked on the Collision Engine for the game, and while I was playing through it, it was like this weird, almost like full circle sort of thing where like the last time I was playing the first Injustice, I was living basically in my friend's basement in this tiny room, playing the first Injustice off of my 360. And in that point in my life, I had no idea like where I was going. I still thought I wanted to do theater and all this stuff. And little did I think when the next Injustice game came out, one, I would be working at IGN making videos about the next Injustice game, but also 2, that a friend of mine would be working on the Injustice 2. So it was like this really cool, like, it like brought a bunch of this nostalgia and like put things in perspective, and it was just like it was a really cool moment playing through Injustice 2, not only because of that, but because the game is also fucking phenomenal. It is, because I went back and looked at some videos of the first Injustice, and even for the time I was like, it didn't look great. It was like, but like now, like the Injustice 2 I think is beautiful. The story is really, really cool. It's not like it's a very comic booky, like just a bunch of crazy shit's happening, just like to make excuses for people to fight each other. But it's still like cool, especially when you get all of these references and when you see Reverse Flash come in and he's talking to people about like what his timeline's about. And
he's like, my timeline, I don't know. Barry's in love with some chick, and then every 24 episodes they reboot it. It's kind of boring because it's the same guy. It's like Groundhog's Day, but with more leather,
with seasons. And so it's a really well done game. It's one of those games that like the first Injustice, like I'm not a fighting game guy. Like I play Injustice and I play Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom mainly because I like comic books and I like to see fucking superheroes banging each other. It's like
action figures.
Yeah, it's like fighting action figures, but I'm a grown-ass man now, so I can't do that anymore. It's not socially acceptable. So I'll just stay in my house for 12 hours straight and just play video games. That's
way more acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things, right? And I'm fine. I can hold my own in some fighting games. Like I could hold my own in Injustice, and I'm feeling pretty confident about this one, the Injustice 2 now. So the story is really cool. I've slowly started to I like playing through the story as well, not only just to learn what's going on in that universe, but also like it has you play as like mainly most of the characters that's available to you. And it was cool to be like, oh, I remember not being as good with this guy. I remember this guy was my main and all this stuff. So like some of the new characters like Blue Beetle, I'm really liking Blue Beetle. Like I think like if I start playing online against people, like I think Blue Beetle would be my main.
Superman was always really broken. I just laser beam-eyed people until I won.
Oh yeah, the up to the down to up one. Yeah.
Suck it, Batman. Suck it, Batman.
And it was really cool, the story. Like I don't want to ruin too much because it just came out yesterday. So for people who actually want to see the story, I don't want to.
Superman can fly. Spoilers.
But it's cool that in the first one they didn't really explain in the story of how can Batman beat up Superman. They didn't really tackle that at all. But they put in story elements of Superman's been in that prison for so long that his powers have been like when he gets spoilers, and you've seen this in commercials, he gets out of the prison, but he's not at full potential because his powers are slowly regaining and stuff. And there's other stuff like that makes sense, oh, so that's why Batman can beat this god up, basically.
Literal god.
Yeah, so it's they interweave that into the story, and that's just one of the many few things that I fucking appreciate about that story.
Is Shazam in the game?
So, spoilers for Injustice 1, which came out in 2013. Shazam gets killed. Superman straight up laser beams through his skull.
Yeah,
and it's
melts
one of the
brain.
most brutal things ever. And it's messed up when you're looking at it, but then it's even more messed up when you're that's a kid.
Yeah.
That is a child. And it's oh my god. So this story is set in that universe.
Okay.
So Shazam is not in the game. So all of the repercussions that they had to deal with at the end of Injustice 1 with the fucked up universe where Superman rules and everything, that's the story that they're focusing on. Because in the first one, you had the different universes crossing over and stuff, and I would have thought that the Injustice 2 game story would have focused on the normal universe and stuff, but they doubled down and focused on this universe where there is no Joker. Superman is a bad guy and stuff, and it's that story is really fucking cool.
Oh, yeah. At the beginning of Injustice 1, Superman straight up kills
Joker. And then, starts his regime, and it's, basically, ruling within it. It's a cool
he,
story.
Puts his hand right through him.
Yeah, it's a really cool story. And, I think this one gets a little deeper with, character motivation, and it's really well done, and it's really beautiful. Transitioning from the cinematics to the actual fights and stuff, it was all fucking really well done. I just want to applaud everybody who worked on that game.
My question is,
NetherRealm Studios and whatnot. So
does Batman have a special where he just starts yelling Martha?
Martha,
Superman freezes. He's like,
what?
What do you mean,
dude? His special is really cool. So he'll to initiate it, he'll tackle the person, and then he says now, and then he basically, so what's the mechanic in Metal Gear Solid 5?
Fulton.
Yeah, he'll basically Fulton the enemy, and they'll like go up in a balloon, and then the fucking the
Batwing.
the Batwing will come up and like shoot them and fuck them up and stuff. It's really cool. There are a couple like really cool supers in this one. Like
I like Green Lanterns.
Flash's might be the coolest fucking one.
Does he go run back in time to when they're a baby and step on them?
So what happens is he grabs them, goes into the future, slams them. I forget like what it is in the future that he slams it against, and then like goes into the past, slams him against a dinosaur, and then goes to the scene of the fight, waits for a second, and then he goes to the scene of the fight right before they leave to go time travel, slams the enemy against himself, and then like the original version like leaves. It is like the dorkiest, coolest fucking super like ever. It's
I
so
think
dope.
mine's way more effective.
What?
Just running back in time when he's a baby and just stepping on him.
Yeah,
we don't endorse baby killing here.
Yeah, we
do
don't.
not.
We don't do that. And also, it's like I'm really excited to get into sort of like the multiplayer and playing against people because you can customize literally every character. Like when you play throughout the story, you gain like basically like the in-game currency and stuff. And you can unlock like different loadouts, so like different sort of costume versions of like all these different characters that have like upgrades of like, oh, this increases this person's strength, this increases this person's like super or their like special or whatever. It's like it's really cool. I'm excited to see like how they support the game. I know they announced the original like the first 3 DLC characters, which is Starfire,
Red
Hood, and
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
Which is weird. No Martian Manhunter. Brian Keshinger, what the fuck's going on?
I feel like they'll bring because
he's so cool.
I'm thinking of getting the Ultimate Edition, which is basically like you get the game and then like you also get like 9 extra fighters that'll probably like be like the first DLCs 3, and I expect 2 other DLCs with like 3 in each. I wouldn't be surprised if Martian Manhunter was in one of them.
I mean, it would make sense. I was hoping for Martian Manhunter
because he was also a DLC character in the first one.
Yeah, I was hoping for Martian Manhunter. Beast Boy
would be really fucking cool.
Yeah, I was a little like, no Beast Boy on this one? Come on, guys.
So there's a story reason.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know if should we say it?
No, because you don't know it in the first one, and then it's cool.
I'll talk to you after.
Oh yeah, it's
because
so.
I do want to know. I was like, come on, man, Beast Boy's so cool. When I was a kid watching Teen Titans, he was my favorite.
Yeah,
because of course, like Robin's so cool.
Yeah,
but Robin's almost too cool. We get it. He
was like that douchey cool where he knew he was cool.
Yeah, he knew he was like, yo, I'm like Batman's son or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm not Batman's son. I don't remember. I don't remember which Robin this is.
I think
I'm not Nightwing.
No, it was Dick Grayson.
Oh, it was Nightwing.
Because I remember the episode where he goes into the future and he meets himself and he's Nightwing, and it was really, really fucking cool.
I watched an animated movie where Neil Patrick Harris was the voice of Nightwing. And I didn't understand that I could like Nightwing anymore. And then I was like, whoa, NPH is the voice of him? What up?
But anyway, Injustice 2 is really fucking rad. I'm probably going to be playing a bunch of it, and that's probably like why I won't be getting to play it anytime soon. Like, it was weird how I forgot my love of Injustice, and then I got to play this one for videos for IGN. If you want to check out, like, we've got... Because this is the thing, is like the story is really cool, but I know a lot of people want to watch that story without having to play fighting games because they might not be into fighting games. So we do have a video up that I worked on for IGN where it's like the Injustice 2 the movie.
Yeah, but if you watch that, you have to PayPal Brian Keshinger $60.
Yeah, support our boy Brian Kesh.
Brian's Big Dong.
I don't think that's
at
his Twitter.
hotmail.com.
Oh, his Hotmail. Okay.
That's just send $60 to that if you're gonna watch that. Just go support. Even if you don't want to play it on easy. Yeah. Get through it, you know. Get good at a fighting game.
So yeah, Injustice 2. It's really fucking cool.
Here's the thing. I just don't think fighting games are that fun. Sometimes, like, don't get me wrong.
You like Smash?
Well, Smash is not a fighting game.
Yeah.
Smash is an arena fighting game. Way different, because I like PlayStation All-Stars too. I'm not insane
because that's like
a
you can have 8 people fighting. Like they're not fighting games in the sense of like just one-on-one, like whatever.
Don't get me wrong. I fucks with one-on-one in Smash.
Yeah.
Final Destination, no items, come see me. But that's like when people are like, oh, when we're gonna play at the office, people are like, oh, we gotta have items on. I was like, what kind of a fucking ridiculous rule set is that? It's no items, Final Destination. There's no other way to play Super Smash Brothers. That's how men are made,
dude.
All right, you do that.
Smash is just a fun time. Okay.
No, it isn't. It's about winning.
It's too much, man.
No.
It's a
You want to get good at
game
Smash?
where
Play 100 hours on Final Destination.
It's a game about a plumber boy fighting a woman from space who's got like guns and shit. Like,
Can we talk about the skill set that Mario has for a minute?
What?
Like, let's talk about the skill set that Mario has for a minute. Mario, probably a pretty good plumber. I don't know if he's a great plumber.
Yeah, we don't know because he isn't using his time to fix.
He's not practicing. He's like go-karting and golfing and riding around on a water jetpack.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. I don't know if going inside of pipes is the most efficient way to fix them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like then you're the clog.
Yeah.
Like,
there you go.
He also doesn't use a wrench pretty often.
No.
I want to see a Mario game where he uses a wrench.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, we have all these powers.
We have a fucking Mario game where
cat?
he's using a fucking hose the entire time that talks.
Yeah.
Which people say is the best Mario game. And
Oh, that's like the biggest revisionist history of all time. I remember when that game came
Mario
out.
Sunshine sucks.
I remember when that game came out and people were like, this game is horrible.
Fucking fight me.
I mean, that's not even an unpopular opinion. This is like when you're like, oh.
No, now it is. Now, literally, because of the revisionist history, now it is.
I'm still thinking like 9. That's like when you're like, I'm edgy. I think Batman Begins is a good movie. It has a 9.1 on IMDb. Like,
Batman Begins is a good movie.
or Rises, whatever. I'm the only one that thinks Batman Rises is a bad movie. Dark Knight Rises, whatever. Batman, bad man. The movie's not good. I'm having a stroke.
Batman Rises.
God help me. I'm not gonna make it. But yeah, like, so the man can plumb with the best of them.
Yeah,
I assume. He's a race car
He
driver.
fixes those pipes.
What else can he? Turns into a cat. I mean, if I had that power, I'd stop learning shit right then. I would just turn into a cat and never unturn into a cat.
Yeah, dude.
Unless I I guess bump into a mushroom. What a weird game.
Yeah.
If you really think about Mario,
if you really think about it,
he
it's
eats
like,
a
this is
star
so
and then
fucked
he's
up.
invincible, and like nothing can hurt him, but only for like 15
If we
seconds.
try to eat a star,
If that shit was real, people would be holding on to a lot of stars.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
true. Yeah.
What, Alyssa? This is what I think about at night when I'm alone.
Shower
I'm alone.
thoughts.
I'm alone a lot,
Yeah,
so
you are.
I think about a lot of weird shit.
Before he touches himself.
What does Star Fox do in his time off?
Who knows? Like,
I have
because I feel like
all
he's
these
always
questions.
too busy saving the galaxy.
How many times does the galaxy need to be saved?
I mean,
the
dad
Guardians
just
of the
keeps
Galaxy are
fucking-
out there
fucking
twice.
it up, right? Because isn't it in 64 where they confirm like that big face dude at the end is his dad? I think so.
I don't know.
My
I
dad
don't play.
My dad played a lot of Star Fox 64.
Really, it's like a 1 hour game. It's a
Well,
rail
'cause
shooter.
there's 3 different paths, and so
Oh.
like yeah, you have like all these different endings to it. It's way deeper. It's way deeper than people give it credit for.
I don't think it's that deep. It's like a 1 hour game on a rail. It's like a rail shooter. It was like people were like, "Oh, Star Fox is like the best game ever," and I'm here like playing PlayStation games like Metal Gear.
Is that your Tim Geddes impression?
No. Tim Geddes is fine, but that's just like growing up as the PlayStation kid in a Nintendo town, which is like, gimme. You think Footloose was a tough story of someone trying to
okay.
persevere
Alright.
during times of oppression?
Okay, Kevin Bacon.
Imagine being the only PlayStation fan in a Nintendo town. It's like they were allergic to good video games.
I want to live in Nintendo Town. I think that'd be pretty dope.
People were like, "Oh, Mario Party 3 is so great." And I'm like,
Mario Party 3 was fun.
there was a great picture
The
of Reddit.
first 3 are fun. After that, it was like, okay, this is excessive.
I don't know. When Mario puts the cowboy hat on, you lost me.
Oh man, that's so fun. Man.
My favorite is there's a
No,
picture
they
on Reddit.
lost me when like it turned because like the Mario Party is basically like a board game, right?
Yeah.
They lost me when all of you are in one cart. And you have to control where
never
the
got
cart. Oh, dude, it's so bad.
My thing with Mario Party is it's a lot like my thing with Mario Kart, where it's at the end of the day, a lot of it comes down to luck.
Oh yeah, no,
Where-
Mario Party is all luck. Bless you. There is a skill set to Mario Kart, but you can only be so good until you get unlucky. But Mario Party is literally just luck.
Like the amount of times where I've played games for like 5 hours, because that's like the monopoly of video games, and you just get to the end of it and it's like, well, Timmy sucks and has 1 star, but he won the award for hitting A the most times during a cutscene, so let's give him 8 goddamn stars. And Sean seems to be having a pretty good game, but that one time that he lost that game, that was the raffle game, and we're gonna just ruin his life. We're gonna take all his stars away. And I'm like, well,
You had a couple bad experiences with Mario Party, didn't you?
I was winning. I just don't understand how you could win a game for the whole time and end up losing. It doesn't make any sense. I won the most mini games. The kid comes in second 11 times in a row, and he gets the best second place award.
You okay?
This is horseshit.
You okay, buddy?
No, I hate Mario Party. There's a great picture on Reddit though of where it says, and people say that that Nintendo has no third-party games, and here's a picture of the third Mario Party.
Oh man.
And I'm like, oh, Reddit, you're funny, but those games suck.
Oh man.
I'm heated.
You are heated. I
am
feel like this
heated.
would be a good time to transition into our like main topic, which is our favorite Marvel movies. We were originally going to talk about this last week, but then we talked about Guardians and Prey for way too long, so
Yeah.
we just had to bring it over to this episode. So we talked about a little bit of like, or like before, like off air and stuff, like thinking about like our top 5 like favorite Marvel movies.
Iron Man 2,
So,
number 1.
oh god,
With a bullet. Are we talking about movies that will absolutely put me to sleep?
No.
Iron Man 2 is top of the list.
oh my god.
Shout out to Iron Man 3, underrated.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 is underrated.
It is weird that Gwyneth Paltrow is the one who wins, who like saves the day from a
Yeah.
guy who breathes fire.
Yeah, and then
You
they
know
break
what?
up
Maybe
after
that movie
that.
wasn't that good. When I say things, sometimes you say things out loud, and you're like, "Man, Gwyneth
maybe she
Paltrow
didn't
beat
like
him
what I
up
was
in yoga pants, and he was like a supervillain or some shit." All right, you want to go? Because I don't have my list. Because of course I don't.
I did all 15. I'm gonna go through the first 10. Really, I'm just gonna name them off. And I'm gonna get to the top 5 and talk about the top 5 a little bit. So 15, Incredible Hulk, because that is in canon. That is confirmed. So
That's the one with Abomination.
Abomination.
I like
yeah.
that movie.
So we got Incredible Hulk, then Iron Man 2, Thor: The Dark World, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Thor 1, Iron Man 3, Ant-Man, Captain America: The First Avenger, Doctor Strange, Avengers 1, and that was number 6. So my top 5 right here: Captain America: Civil War. I don't think it's because I love the Captain America trilogy. I really liked 1. I know people give me so much shit for liking 1, but I really liked it.
I'm skinny and have bad CGI. Now I crashed my fucking plane into a water. Oh my god. There's the movie. My bad guy also sucks.
And obviously, like, the bar was super raised for Winter Soldier. And, like, I don't think Civil War hit the Winter Soldier bar for me. But because it's not a Captain America movie anymore, it was really like an Avengers 3, basically. Like, that is an Avengers story.
Civil War?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another Avengers movie.
Yeah, that's a Captain America, Tony Stark story. And it's really cool. And you okay? You doing all right there with the headphones? Okay. So I really liked it. I think it did get, like, I really like the fight scene, but there's a lot of, like, weird stuff that you have to deal with to get to that really cool fight scene. There's, like, Baron von Zemo's plan throughout the whole thing.
That's
like
my biggest problem with the movie.
Very thin, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, that is a very thin, like, how do you know that they were going to figure this out and capture this dude? Like, what's going on here? But I thought it was pretty cool of, like, his idea, the whole idea why he wanted to tear them down, right? He wasn't trying to get cool powers and defeat them and stuff, because he was like, no, like, the best way to tear someone down, to tear down, like, an empire, is to tear it down from within, you know? And so, like, I thought that was a cool idea, but to get to there, it was all, like,
it was just a little, it was like, it was a little
loosey
thin.
plot holes. Yeah, it was thin.
I think that Captain America Civil War has the worst villain in a Marvel movie.
What?
I mean, close second to Red Skull. I think that two of the 3 Captain America movies have, like, the worst
I
villains.
understand the, like, not hate against Red Skull, but just, like, the whatever about Red Skull, because he is very, I'm evil. I'm a Nazi and I'm evil, so whatever.
Arr.
Yeah. But I would actually counterpoint and say that who was the villain in Thor: The Dark World?
I never saw that movie.
Oh, you never saw it?
Oh, God, no.
Name me the villain without looking it up. Name me the villain of Thor: The Dark World.
I would say whoever color corrected it. Because the movie was fucking. The only thing I've ever seen in the movie is it's all one color. So whoever the bad guy was in that, he was the guy doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna say Loki. I feel like Loki's
yes and
always
no.
the enemy.
Fun fact: the guy who played the villain in Thor: The Dark World was Doctor Number 9.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't speak. I don't think he spoke any English in that movie.
What was he speaking?
Some made-up alien language.
Oh, that's always the worst.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing about alien languages. Like, if you're making a movie, right, and you want to have your people sound stupid, make up a language because you're not a linguist, and it will sound dumb. Power Rangers.
I don't think Loki's a weak villain, but I feel like he was a weird choice for the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, that is a little weird. I thought Doctor Doom should have been the villain for the first.
They don't have the rights to him.
I know, but that would have been way cooler. Just do the Marvel Ultimate Alliance story.
God, yes.
But real quick, going back, if you're trying to do a language, just like if you're making a movie where the main characters have to speak an alien language, just pick like super traditional French. We're Americans, we won't know it anyway.
But the French will know.
But it'll sound really good. And then like for the French people don't watch movies.
Yeah, they do.
I feel like that's not an accurate statement.
Okay.
Isn't everything theater over there? They watch like Avengers, but it's like every time it's like real.
Anyway, Spider-Man really made Civil War. Like, he was the star of that show.
Without a doubt. That movie was like fell off a cliff after Spider-Man left. I was like,
no, I really loved the ending of that movie. It was so cool.
It was
I mean, I understand like what people say at the end where they show like the new Avengers team and everybody's like, who the fuck are these people?
Like the new Avengers team was just like, that's like when you go to the strip club on a Monday morning. It's like, oh god, dude, who is that back there? Ooh, that's not looking good.
Or wait, no, was that the event?
That's Civil War.
Yeah, that's Civil War. Okay. Wait,
right?
no,
that's Avengers 2.
that is Avengers 2.
Oh god,
Maybe
that is real bad.
Yeah, that was Avengers 2 wasn't great. What happens in this Civil War? Oh yeah, where he's breaking everybody out of the prison and stuff.
He's not breaking them out though. They're in the prison.
No, at the end of Civil War.
Does he break him out?
Yeah,
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Because like Tony's reading the letter from Captain America, and then like you see what's his friend?
Hawkeye?
Falcon. You see him like look out of his cell, and then like he slowly approaches out of the dark. That's really cool.
My whole thing. Have we seen what happened at the end after that? Is there been anything in the Marvel continuity that takes place after Civil War yet?
With those characters?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Because I feel like, man, what came out after Civil War? Guardians just came out.
There's been stuff in between there.
Yeah, what came out?
I know there's like
Doctor Strange came out.
Never saw
and
it.
So Doctor Strange didn't really deal with any of those characters. So yeah, we haven't seen those characters since then.
I do like the fight scene between Captain America and
Iron Man,
and
Winter Soldier.
Oh,
it's so good.
That's a real good fight scene.
And that's also a good way to interweave a "you killed my mom" story without it being weird and yelling Martha.
Oh my god! I just came up with a really great meme.
What?
You know when they're like both of them are fighting Captain America, and it's like when one of your friends has more lives than everybody else.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah! You guys just saw the birth of a 1 million view Facebook video.
Number 4, the original Iron Man. That is that is a classic. It helped jumpstart a whole universe where we have 15 movies now. I think it's a really cool story that that made Iron Man cool and likable. I think a lot of people give shit to the Ironmonger, and I understand that.
He's terrible.
But I think that character was really cool. I think at the end where he's like, "Oh, I'm an evil big
he turns into a cartoon villain.
Yeah, he turns into a.
He's Dr. Robotnik.
But I think like the first 2 acts, I really liked him, right? And so yeah, like the third act was like, all right. But like, after that big fight where he like goes up and he's like, "I am Iron Man," where he like says to the public, that was so fucking cool. And then the fucking after credit scene, dude, where no one was expecting it, right?
Yeah,
and then crazy. Fucking Nick Fury comes out and it's your boy Samuel L. Jackson. Like
that was kind
of fucking blew the world up.
That wasn't the moment for me.
What was the moment?
The moment is right before he says that. Right before he says, "I am Iron Man," where he's in the backstage, and they're like, "We are with the blah blah blah."
Yeah, they've been saying the thing, and then he's like, "Just call it Shield."
He's like, "You guys got to think of a better name for that." He's like, "Why don't you call it Shield?"
Yeah,
that was the moment where I was like, "Oh,
my grandpa picked it up the first time he said it."
Oh, really?
Because he was like, "What is that acronym? What is that?" And like he thought of it like when Coulson first comes into the first scene that he's in, he says it. He's like, I think he's like, "That's Shield. That's Shield." I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and then sort of ruined that theater moment, but it was still cool.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Thanks, Grandpa, who knows way too much about comics. Yeah, he really loved like the Silver Age of like Marvel stuff, so he knows his shit. And so yeah, like the Iron Man 1 is so fucking good, and it sucks that who's the original Rhodey?
Oh, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah. He's in No, we're totally wrong on that.
Is it the other one?
From Empire.
Yeah, he's an Empire.
I always
right
get
now.
him and Cuba Gooding Jr. mixed up.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's not like a lot of people do that for the record.
But now it's Don Cheadle. I like Don Cheadle, but I also liked the original dude. I really liked him. I liked his
Shmuddy, you
style.
looking it up?
She's got it.
That's Howard.
That's what I always get him mixed up.
Yeah. You
Sorry,
racist.
that's clearly has
I
nothing
know,
to
I
do
know,
with it.
I'm just
Those
kidding.
guys look very similar. All right.
Howard has the light eyes.
I don't look
okay.
at people's eyes.
So yeah,
Gun to my head.
shout out to
couldn't tell you
Terrence
what guy's
Howard.
eyes.
I really liked his like version of Rhodey, and I was bummed out when he decided to leave. But I also like Don Cheadle, so yeah, it's like that weird in between. Number
Man,
3.
that moment when Rhodey gets shot down.
Oh
in
my
Civil
god, in
War.
Civil War, yeah, that was like
That's
I
the
thought,
moment where it's like you took it too far. That was great for the viewers,
good, but for Tony.
but for like Tony when
Vision, but
yeah,
like it was Vision's fault. Like Vision
Yeah.
fucked up because, and I like that this wasn't a plot point that they really hit hard on. Is that Vision is falling in love with Scarlet Witch?
Yeah.
and that's something that does happen in the comics. They do fall in love, and she distracted him from doing his job, and like that was like something that was totally sort of washed over because of the Rhodey moment. But it was like that cool, like oh shit, she distracted him. When he's like a robot cyborg who's supposed to be able to focus on everything.
Yeah, and then God, Scarlet Witch is so cool too.
Number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That was the one where like people thought this was going to be like no one cares about these characters. It's going to be whatever. And then that trailer came out. It was like okay, we're feeling the vibe on this one. Like all right, like well, there's some cool music here. Chris Pratt is really hot now. Like we'll check this one out. And then I remember going to the premiere with Alyssa and my former roommate Jack, and we came out of that movie like, holy shit, they nailed it. And I honestly I think Guardians 1 is better than the first event, like the first Phase 1, because they were able to do the entirety of Phase 1 in one movie, and I think make it a little more. Have you empathize with the characters a little more, just in like one movie. So I really like it. Like I don't think I need to say too much else about it. Like the soundtrack's awesome. The sort of rapport with all of the actors fleshes out those characters really well. Every character gets their moment. Like everything that needs to be said about Guardians has already been said.
Yeah, Guardians is a great movie. I mean, here's the theme of all Marvel movies: they have weak villains.
Ronan.
Ronan is only on screen for 6 minutes in the entire film.
And when he was on screen, he was not interesting.
And it's all because they're building up to this massive villain that is Thanos.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, weak villain,
but I think,
really cool story.
Yeah,
really
and I
cool
think that
characters.
one was less about the villain and more about them coming together.
They
and
all
totally,
are. That's
yeah.
all the movies in Marvel are all about the heroes, not about the villains. Marvel has weak villains, though, but that changes now that Spider-Man's in the universe. Spider-Man does have good villains.
We'll see. I'm nervous about Michael Keaton as Vulture, and I usually because I like my boy Michael Keaton. He fucking killed it in Birdman. He killed it in
Batman.
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom's fine.
Mr. Mom's awesome. But I'm a little nervous about him playing. Like every time he pops up in a trailer, I'm like, you're a little too campy, dude.
I mean, he's only been in like one. He has got like 4 lines.
Yeah, and every time I hear him, it's like, that's bad. It's not good.
You were sitting at the bar the other day. Sorry, this just reminded me of you were sitting at the bar the other day when you were really tired.
Yeah,
and like you were like, and then Andy goes, "I bet he's just real upset about a movie right now." And you're like just like sitting up, staring into the distance. He's like, "I bet he's thinking about 5 things that are wrong with the movie."
In my defense, I was really tired because I had been working on a video for like 5 hours straight, and then
it just reminded me.
I also
of it.
had only 4 hours of sleep the night before, and I had also been drinking, so I was just like sitting, just like. I need a moment.
He's like, man, that shot, that last shot in Star Wars,
so bad. It is though.
You're not wrong. I groaned when that scene came on in the movie theater. Oh,
that's really how you want to end your movie. You're really good. Movie.
You had it, JJ. You fumbling on the one.
My number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We've said it last week. We think 2 is better than 1.
I definitely think 2 is better than
because it is. What I like more about Guardians 2 is that, all right, the team's now together, but how do they grow as a team? And they all went their separate paths to learn more about themselves. So when they came back together as a team at the end, they were a better team, you know? Like, you had the Rocket and Yondu storyline where they saw the parallels between each other, and Rocket was able to see, like, what is wrong with him, and, you know, hopefully he will be better at that, you know? And, you know, like, Peter got to learn about his family and learn that he's had a family the entire time, and same with Gamora, and so I really like that. And it also had, like, I think one of the, like, better done villains.
I
I want to say he's the best. Like I think
Celestial.
there you go. I think Loki in Thor 1 is actually really... I think he is the main reason why I like that movie, because he is such a great villain in it.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of depth that like is very underrated, because the rest of that movie is very okay. And I know I'm going to get daggers stared at me from Alyssa, because Alyssa loves Thor. Mainly
The first Thor movie sucks.
Mainly she loves Chris Hemsworth, which I understand.
Yeah, but like that's cool. I have it used to be background on my phone, but like not really for like a day.
Okay.
But, you know, that movie sucks. There's no villain. Thor's Loki's the villain, but like he's not.
Yeah, he's
he
like
fights
always,
like
on
a
the
metal
side.
bitch destroyer guy and hits him with a hammer. And
Anyway,
the movie's over. Roll
I
credits.
think Ego, the Living Planet was a really well done way to tackle like a cool sort of dad villain thing, and I think it was really cool. And like that fight at the very end, all this creepy CGI where he's like all looking weird, rebuilding himself, was really creepy, and I liked it. It was really dope. And number one for me is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And I know for most people, it's like always like, for most people that I've talked to, it's always a toss up between either Winter Soldier or Guardians 1. And why Winter Soldier stands out a little more to like, I like both, but they're totally two different movies. And I like the sort of 80s thriller spy espionage movie like vibe that Winter Soldier let off, you know. And I think they really nailed it. And I like the fucking like they totally that twist was no one expected it. No one was like the twist that SHIELD were the bad guys was the fucking like no nerd could have fucking predicted that. You know?
And the great thing is how they foreshadow that in the first Avengers movie, where he is finding
I watched Avengers 1 so long.
He is like finding out that SHIELD is doing things that he wouldn't necessarily align with.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, like there's like they plant that. Marvel's very good at planting the seed.
Yeah. Or like some things
because
are gray and some.
They know that they're not DC. You know, like we got this movie shit on lock, bro. Yeah. We can make a goddamn movie about any of our characters, and you motherfuckers will show up to the fucking theater to see it. So you guys
will watch Ant-Man mainly because Paul Rudd is fucking attractive.
We can play the long game, man. He's like 44. What a good looking.
I know he ages like a fine wine, man.
He's like Keanu.
It's fucking crazy. I'd fuck Paul Rudd.
I love that commercial where I love that scene where he's like talking to himself in the mirror, like the dirty talk in the mirror. I forget what movie that's from.
Dirty talk in the mirror.
I'll show it to you.
This is 40.
Yeah, maybe.
I saw This Is 40 in theaters, and I wasn't.
I'll look it up. There's a really funny Paul Rudd scene where he's like talking dirty to himself in the mirror, like trying to like prep himself.
Okay.
So yeah, they do a really great job of like planting seeds early on because they know that they're like we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see this. I'm gonna go through mine real quick.
Yeah.
Marvel movies.
While you think, I want to talk a little bit more about Winter Soldier. Like, that twist was fucking great. I think like you got a little more time, like personal time with Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow, and got to see them like work together on missions and stuff, and see them go through like hard shit, like recruit Falcon, and the tease of Doctor Strange in that movie, and just everything. Like there was that cool moment where it's like you don't know who the bad guys are anymore because SHIELD has been compromised, and it's so fucking cool. And the way they bring back
Hail Hydra,
the fucking robot dude, who the guy who's in the computer.
Oh yeah. I remember his name.
Fuck, I forget. But like they brought him back for like a little bit. It was like, God, Winter Soldier's so fucking great. I love it.
And Winter Soldier has top 3 scenes in any Marvel movie ever. The elevator scene.
Oh yeah.
Where everybody,
oh my God.
Where everybody's getting onto the elevator with him, and like when it hits the last floor and they're completely full, he goes, "If anybody wants to get out right now, go now."
Yep.
And we won't talk about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right," and he just fucking beats the shit out of everybody in there. Yeah. And it's also like they don't really dwell on it.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of Captain America, he kills everybody on the boat. And you have to realize that if someone is running 30 miles an hour and kicks somebody into a metal crate and they flip off into the ocean, they're dead. And I was like, where Fred was like leaned over to me and goes, yo, he's killing people. Especially the last guy where he like runs up and kicks him and he hits the side of the ship that would definitely break your spine and flips off into the ocean.
Yeah,
and you're like, that dude's dead. He can't walk. He can't swim. He's dead.
Yeah.
Like Captain America and like is hitting people as hard, like humans as hard as he can in those fights and killing people.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's not like they make a point to be like, but he's a assassin pretty much. He's this special forces god.
Yeah, and like one of the greatest moments of my life ever was immediately when Bucky died in Cap 1. My friend Vinny, who loves Captain America, was like pissed because that's not how he dies, and he died too early and all this stuff. And like after we left the theater, after seeing Captain America First Avenger for the first time, I was like, they're gonna do Winter Soldier. They're gonna do Winter Soldier for the next Captain America movie. And then they announced it. I was like, boom! I fucking called it, bitches.
When he catches the shield.
Oh my god, it's so
There's
cool.
so many moments where
and they brought back a lot of those cool, like when they do the flashbacks between him and Bucky and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they really fleshed out that friendship way more that when they should have in the first one, but they sort of made up for it in the second one. And yeah, like he is terrifying in that movie. It's so dope.
Yeah, they do a really good job. Captain America. Here, you're not gonna agree with my list, obviously, because it's different than yours.
Yeah.
My favorite. I get shit for this all the time. My favorite Marvel movie is Avengers 1.
And that's fine.
And
that's fine.
The reason behind that is I saw Avengers 1 opening night.
Yeah.
In one of the only IMAX showings in our state.
Okay.
So the place was fucking packed. We just showed up 4 hours early.
Jesus.
We waited in line, and when we saw it, and there were like it's the same thing where it's like I love Star Wars Episode 7, but I really love the first time I saw Star Wars Episode 7, where it was like in a theater.
I totally I remember that experience of seeing it in theaters for the first time, and it was fucking
like, and it was like they
nothing
did it.
can
they
describe
did
it. You know,
like the Thor Hulk fist pound moment where Thor punches them all, or Hulk punches them off screen, and it's like everybody in the theater was like stand up clapping, laughing, and like,
oh my god,
this scene where like Hulk or Thor is in the prison that Loki's in, and Loki's like, they think that we're gods and we're unkillable.
Yeah,
but we know that's not true, and he like drops it, and it's like,
my God.
There are so many moments in that movie where you're like the I'm always angry moment, where like Hulk comes back to save the day, and then like I'm an emotional guy. It's not hard to make me cry, but like when Iron Man grabs the nuke and is like, and he's like gonna die, and he's flying back up through space, and he calls Pepper.
Yeah.
And it's like,
she doesn't hear the phone.
It's not that he sacrifices himself. It's that with his last like cognizant moment,
he tried to reach out to
someone. Tries to call, and it's this character that is like so flawed. We've seen him in 2 movies, one really bad one really good one.
Yeah.
And like, you know that he's like so flawed, and it's hard for him to open up, and his last thing that he does, of all people to sacrifice himself, it's him.
Yeah.
And he tries to call, and he gets to the thing, and it's like the thing where it like starts to blink out when he drops the nuke there, and the call drops.
Yeah. And it's like I think it's like really cool, like he sees like how big how much more there was,
and then it
like
affects
blows
him.
It affects it, and like that's the like I don't love Avengers 2, but I love that carried with him into Avengers 2 at the beginning, where he's like, she fucks with his mind, and then he sees his greatest fear, and then out of that he creates Ultron. Okay.
Well, he tries to.
That's a very thin story, where it's like,
I mean, not as thin as Captain America: Civil War. I think it's way thicker than that.
Okay.
I think it's a tree branch to a tree.
But yeah, like you see, like his fear, where like all of the Avengers are dead at the beginning, and then like
because he's the only
Captain
one.
America wakes up, he's like, "You did this to us," or whatever. It's like your fault or whatever. And it's like, I honestly think we might see that scene in Avengers 3.
Yeah,
like
where Cap dies.
Like I think we'll get like them in space, and like his team is fucked up.
Because that is pretty much where Thanos is.
Yeah,
that like staircase is where you see Thanos.
That's where we saw Thanos for the first time at the end of Avengers 1. So,
and it's just I like how they like, I love how in the Marvel universe they call it the Manhattan Incident, and like it's this thing that is in Daredevil the show, and they talk about how it like affected the rent.
So I'm rewatching all of the Marvel Netflix stuff to lead up to the Defenders. So I'm rewatching Daredevil season 1.
So
what
good.
A fucking special! Like I think. We're just talking about movies, but I think Daredevil season 1 is the best thing the Marvel MCU
has ever done. Yeah, I think so too.
Oh my god!
But like, Yeah, and you bring it up, but like it fucks him up in Iron Man 3, where he's the only one that really saw how bad it could have been.
And he
like,
stopped
it.
PTSD. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and like I have a special place for Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 probably doesn't crack my top 5, but like I love that scene where he comes out and his friend is in the hospital, and they're like, "Do you have a message for the Mandarin?" And he's like, "Yeah, you just died.
Yeah.
I just decided it. You're dead. I'm coming up to pick the body." It's one of like the most badass lines ever. And then he gives his address to the Mandarin.
That was dumb.
That was
probably a dumb move.
So I think Avengers is probably my favorite.
Okay.
And there's just like so many like when Thor fights Captain America the first time, and you're like, and it's like,
and then like the shield break like fucks everybody up.
And then it's like, and then like Iron Man captures Loki the first time. Where he's like, all right, calm down there, reindeer games, and he's playing Back in Black when he comes. It's the first time you see him.
Good. There are so many great moments.
Like,
and that's why
moments.
like Avengers didn't get higher for me, because I think Avengers 1 is great moments, but I don't think the story itself is super interesting. Like I love the story of Winter Soldier. I love the story of Guardians 2. I love the vibe of Guardians 1 itself, like brought it up there for me, and I really like the story of Iron Man 1 and stuff, but like the story of Avengers is like very like, it's not bad, it's just very simple, you know, like Loki comes, he tries to destroy the humans, they stop him.
I think it would,
but I think it is great because of the moment.
The Hulk moment where he fights Thor, or when he fights Loki,
like when they're in the
apartment, Iron Man's apartment.
Oh my god, everybody was
am a god.
Yeah, and it's
he like picks him up.
I remember the first 3 times, because I think I saw that movie probably like 4 times in theaters, and I think the first 3 none of us picked up because everybody laughed so hard when he does that. None of us picked up what Hulk says, where he's like puny god. Like I didn't pick that up until like the 3rd or 4th time seeing it.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
And then number 2 and 3 are Iron Man. Captain America: Winter Soldier is 2, and then Civil War is 3. Okay. For the reasons that you named. I think that Captain America: Civil War is an awesome Avengers movie. It gives me my favorite superhero ever on screen, exactly the way I always pictured him.
Yeah, dude. Like he fucking nailed it. And like, to give credit to Tobey Maguire, I think he is a good Peter Parker, where he is very nerdy. He like that is how I thought of Peter Parker when I read comic books and stuff, and I think he nailed that side of Spider-Man. I don't think he nailed being in the costume. I think Andrew Garfield nailed being in the costume, but was not. He was
too good looking.
He was like, oh man, no one likes me. I skateboard and I do photography, and you know, I'm really handsome. It's like, dude, you would have been the most popular person at the fucking school. Like, the bully who's cooler than you is a guy who had a shaved head who like plays basketball at a high school. Like,
I think
you would have been like.
I think that Tom Holland's like really, really, really good looking, but he's also.
I think he's a good in between.
Yeah,
because
he's
like,
short. He's like,
young, and it's like he's got that quirky nerd. Look to him that makes him cute, but he's also still a fucking nerd.
Yeah,
so it's like I like that. And shout out to him, his performance on the
Ellen DeGeneres
the show lip sync battle. Jesus Christ, where he did Umbrella. We're and doing cross dress, and it was like, that was fucking awesome.
Wait, he's just like this awesome dancer, gymnast. Like he's like super cool. He's like Spider-Man. What I've always wanted, but like. So I cut, for people that don't know, I made a video about Spider-Man for work. I did like I cut up the 1960s Spider-Man theme song with footage from The Amazing Spider-Man, or footage from the new Spider-Mans. Yeah. But for that, I had to rewatch the fight scene in Civil War, and it is so good. Like when he takes Cap's shield, and then like Cap takes his shield.
Can I name this episode? Today we suck Marvel's dick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they make great movies. Sorry,
they
DC.
Do. It's
what do you want?
They do, man.
But like when he goes out and fights Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it's like they do it so perfectly because Falcon is flying, and then he webs Falcon's flying thing.
Oh my god!
And then
like,
drops
usually
down.
There's not this much talking.
Yeah, and he's like talking the whole time, and he's like, "Oh my god, do you have a metal arm?" And he drops down, and Winter Soldier goes to punch him, and Spider-Man just goes like this and catches his fist.
Yeah, he's like. The fucking arm that caught the Captain America shield. Spider-Man's just like,
beep, boop, and then he just turns his arm in, and that's when you're like, oh shit, Spider-Man. And then they drop the thing on Spider-Man, and he catches it, And then he has that great line.
I'm really
with Cap.
scared that Spider-Man Homecoming is not going to be great, but I want it to be great so bad, guys.
I think it's going to be good.
Does it come out like a month?
Yeah, about a month.
I'm so excited. Look that up for us. Spider-Man Homecoming date.
He's like, what neighborhood are you from? And he's like, Brooklyn.
Queens.
I thought Cap was from Queens.
No, Spidey's from Queens. Cap is from Brooklyn.
Okay, I got it mixed up.
Yep.
And he's like, and there's like that great line in between.
He's like Brooklyn, and then like at the end where he's like, what? Like, who's this kid? He's like, oh, no, he's from Brooklyn and all this. So it's like fucking. I'm so happy.
And then I like
Spider-Man's
the whole
universe.
interaction between Iron Man, Aunt May, and Spider-Man, where he's like, all right, we'll go tell Aunt May, and he like webs the door shut.
Oh my god!
And he's like, no.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I love everything about the way. You know what? I'm changing the order. I'm calling Audible.
Civil War's number 1.
Civil War is number 2.
Okay.
I still like Avengers more as a film because I think that after that fight scene, that movie basically falls off a cliff. But only because of how great that part is. I think fight scene.
I think it is it's the climax.
Yeah,
it is the climax, and then like we slowly get the resolution at the end, and the resolution is like
the
them
final
still
fight
fighting.
just isn't as cool as that one though.
It
Where
isn't, but
Ant-Man,
it's still
is
fucking
on the
dope.
arrow and he jumps out and he's in Iron Man's suit. Dude, I'm telling you,
It's so dope. It's so cool, and then he turns big. That was the biggest, like, holy fucking shit they went.
Yeah,
there.
I've only
They
done
went
this
there.
in practice, and I blacked out afterwards. Anybody have some orange slices? I also like how he was asleep in the van, like typical Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's 3 and 4, or 2 and 3.
Yeah.
4 is Avengers 2. What's that?
Spider-Man Homecoming is coming out July 7th.
July
7th.
7th.
Holy shit. So
I won't
2
be,
months.
Yeah, I
2
won't
months
be
away.
at Comic-Con. Okay. That's like later that week.
Okay.
Number 4 is Avengers 2. I like Avengers 2 a lot.
What?
Yeah. I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of really cool moments in Avengers 2.
Okay.
I like Quicksilver. I really like Scarlet Witch. I like
I think
the
Quicksilver
opening.
was a waste of a character.
I obviously know why they
Hawkeye
didn't
should
use
have
him
died
more.
in that movie.
I think Hawkeye will die in the next movie. I really like the intro fight scene where they're storming the castle. I think that whole
was
part
cool.
is cool. I like seeing Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I love when Vision picks up his hammer, like no problem.
It was just my problem with Avengers 2 was that it's my same problem with Iron Man 2, is that movie was made to set up 5 other movies, not to focus on itself. You know, it was like, oh, we got to get this Infinity Stone into Vision because it's got to connect with the bigger universe, right? We got to make Iron Man scared of what's in the future, so he builds Ultron because he's scared of Thanos or aliens or whatever, right? We got to sort of make people mad at each other to set up the shit that'll happen in Civil War. It was like it was a transition period to get to the next cooler stories.
No, yeah, I definitely agree.
And that's my hang up with it. I also don't like Ultron. I really like.
I thought Ultron was funny.
And I was like, I didn't want him to be funny. I wanted him to be fucking terrifying because Ultron in the comics is terrifying, and like he didn't really have that. They turned him into like this weird, quirky, like I'm Iron Man's like abused like son, even though I'm a robot that was just created, and like Iron Man's like my dad who's abusive, and it was weird, and like I wanted him to be terrifying, but since they went, and there were moments where he was, but then when they went with that like weird, quirky, like, oh, I don't know this word, so like children, oh yeah, I didn't know the word for children, like it just he didn't ever feel like a threat, and
yeah,
so now, like, and it sucks because I really liked Ultron as a villain in the comics. I really like that
voice actor.
He's Robert California from The Office.
Yeah.
And so like I was really excited for that, and then like when I saw it, I was like, I don't think it's bad. I think like I remember like before. Maybe even before I started BCG, I just wrote a review on my own. I think I gave it like a 7 or something. Like I think it's
it's a good movie.
Yeah,
and that's the thing where it's like the theme that you'll see in all of the thing whenever I talk about Marvel. It's I love all the characters being together.
Yeah,
I think that most of them by themselves are not boring, but like the only one I think that stands alone and is an incredible character by himself is Spider-Man. I think that everybody else is.
We got to get you to watch Doctor Strange. I think it's coming out on Netflix soon.
Yeah, I do want to watch Doctor Strange
because I really like that one.
But yeah, I like the interactions. I like Hulk or like Bruce Banner talking, like being friends with Tony Stark, and then like debating if like making Ultron is the right thing, and then
that was cool.
Tony fucking up and realizing like, I fucked up.
Yep,
this was a mistake. I like Quicksilver dying because like I thought he was a cool character, and it sucks that he had to die.
Yeah,
and it's
I just think
like,
the X-Men universe nailed Quicksilver way more.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it's again, we run into this stupid problem where it should have been him.
Yep.
Then it should have been him, and they can't call them mutants. Yeah, and like there's definitely huge problems with Avengers 2. Avengers 2 is probably 5, and Guardians 2 is above that.
Okay,
but I think Guardians 2 is a much better film in every way. Like cinematography, like every single way.
Yeah, there's some great shots in Guardians 2.
Oh yeah, but
also I want to shout out a moment in Guardians 2 that I didn't really think about until the other day, where the moment you realize how sad Drax always is.
Oh yeah.
When Mantis like holds on to him, and he is basically internalizing all of this pain, and it's too much for her. Like she is just straight up crying, and it's like that moment was like so fucking good. Yeah. We've talked about it. If you want to hear our full thoughts about Guardians 2, you can watch last week's episode.
But yeah, so I think for me it's Avengers, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Guardians 2, and then Ultron.
Okay.
And like I said, I know that I'm in the minority by thinking that Avengers is the best Marvel movie. I don't think it's necessarily the best. It's my favorite. This is If I had to break these down from a critical standpoint, Winter Soldier would be number one.
So I did want to bring this up because I think this is very interesting. Of like, what do you think is the highest rated MCU movie on Rotten Tomatoes?
Great question. Doctor Strange.
So I'm scrolling through screenshots here. So
I think it's either. It can't be Avengers. What is it?
It's Iron Man 1.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's 94%, and then number 2 is Marvel's The Avengers at 92%, and then number 3 is Guardians 1 at 91%.
That makes sense. I mean, I it's not that I don't like Iron Man 1.
Wait, did I say Guardians 2?
You said Guardians 1.
Guardians 1. Yeah. Okay.
It's not that I don't like, because Iron Man's definitely not in my top 5. I just think that's mostly it's a boring movie.
Yeah. Doctor Strange has a 90%. So.
Okay, wasn't off by much. I look forward to that. All right, let's go to viewer questions.
Viewer questions. We got to wrap up. It's Derek Jeter, Peter Day.
Don't make fun of Derek Jeter. You can do a lot of things in life. If you make fun of Derek Jeter, I'll end the show.
Our good friend Woody at Woody Zhang asks, "What was the name of your ship during your past life as a pirate?" I'm gonna say, I thought about this.
I love this question so much.
I was thinking about this, and
Woody continues to be one of my favorite people ever.
It's so good. And I was thinking about this. I was like, well, realistically, what would my ship be? And I really liked the name The Vendetta. And so I think that's, in my past life as a pirate, I think my ship was called The Vendetta.
Not
also,
the Black Pearl.
Good. I wasn't fucking mystical pirates. This is like in our universe where, there wasn't any mystic shit going on. It was just, we're just pirates, just stealing shit. And I just want to bring this up because I think there's a picture of me. We went to Boston when I was a kid. A picture of me next to a boat. The boat's name was Grin and Barrett.
Cool.
Yeah.
My ship name would be the Scranton Strangler.
Jesus. Okay. What's your question?
How dare you?
Were you a captain?
No. Barrett's not captain material.
Damn.
I mean, I am very bossy when I need to be, so I think I was a captain. You didn't know me in my theater days, dude. I was a fucking...
I didn't know you in your pirate days.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. I was the leader. I was the captain. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
You were assistant to the captain.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
You're not the assistant captain. You're an assistant to the captain.
Ryan Santilli, at Ryan Santilli, asks, what are you both looking forward to with your first E3 while working with IGN?
I'm looking forward to so much.
Yeah?
Ryan. Let me tell you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you I'm not going to cry. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm looking forward to. There's a hall in E3 that on one side is the PlayStation logo and on one side is the Xbox logo.
To be able to walk down that.
Can't wait to take a picture there.
Yeah.
That is like, cool. That's the moment. It's like that's the image that I tweeted out, and in my E3, that's what I see in my head, and it's like, that is it. everything else after that, I mean, like looking forward to seeing games, and like I'm looking forward to being able to represent the biggest and best, in my opinion, video game media company in the world. It's an honor.
Yeah.
But that moment, I see it in my head every night.
Yeah.
Is like that is like the I made it moment for me.
That's cool.
Sleeping in, I guess.
Sorry, for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to E3, but I'm going to be working home base. So I will be looking forward to watching the stream, drinking some coffee, not dealing with like all the hecticness that I hear about E3. But I'm excited one day to go down to E3. Who knows what it'll be? But I like watching the streams. So
yeah, you don't like being in crowds and shit.
Yeah, being in crowds is really stressful. So yeah, I'm feeling that vibe. I'm excited for that. Roger Corney at Rajformer asks, "What makes you smile every time?" You, Roger.
Really easy. There's a scene in the show Drake and Josh where Josh is what? I'm serious.
What? No, Drake and Josh is fucking awesome, but it just came out of nowhere.
There's an episode in Drake and Josh where Drake is with a girl and Josh is talking to her and she goes, "My biggest fear is skydiving. They say 1 in 3 people don't make it to the ground." And Josh goes, "Then where do they go?" Yeah, right? That's so
dude.
funny.
Drake and Josh was like, I think legit one of the best sitcoms of the 2000s.
Oh, without a doubt.
So good.
That show's awesome.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like that is like one of my favorite. Every time that makes me laugh every goddamn time.
That's good.
Also, Derek Jeter.
What makes me smile every time? Pirates.
Cats. Cats make me smile.
I don't know. It's a hard one. Like being at a baseball game. Like that's something. Like every time I'm at a baseball game, I'm always happy. I don't know. Donkey Kong 64.
Getting a curly fry when I order normal fries. Getting like one curly fry makes me smile every time. That's the dream.
I don't know. Like
Neil
I don't know.
Patrick
Just
Harris.
little things. But especially you, Roger. Alex Sierra at Radis_Tadpole asks, "What are some songs or albums you associate with specific events, times in your life?"
Let's try to keep this topic to under 10 minutes.
Under 50 minutes.
Coloring Book's 1 year anniversary was last week. I associate that coloring book with making it in the games industry.
Yeah, like I remember it was still like a new album when you moved out here, and like we were talking about it when I picked you up from the airport, and then we went to Underdogs, and you talked about Coloring
like
Book.
we do every time I fly in. I used to fly in.
Yeah.
Coloring Book is an album that I associate with all of my dreams coming true. So that's an album that is very near to my heart. I very rarely listen to it.
Yeah,
because it's so special to me that I keep it for when I need it.
Yeah.
Logic's Under Pressure is an album that I associate with hard times in my life, because that was when I was going through depression and had to go home for a little while. When I lived out here, I was listening to a lot of Logic and helped me get through it. Shout out to Logic. And I think that's, Cleaning Out My Closet and Eminem's Eminem Show is like an album that I associate with the 5th and 6th grade years. Like that's the first album I remember listening to that was like my own.
Yeah.
So that's like my first memory of me picking out music was Eminem, as much as I don't like him now.
I associate the Wonder Years, Suburbia, I've given you all, and now I'm nothing. When I went through one of the worst times of depression I'd ever gone through. This is a tough one. I associate Blink-182's self-titled album with my friend Amber, who had cancer. Because I remember listening to that album right before I found out that she had cancer.
Any good memories with music?
No.
That wasn't a joke.
No, I know, and I'm saying no. Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde reminds me of the first time I got my heart broken. Yeah, all bad memories. Music I'm just a very emotional dude, and I've had a lot of...
I was not making fun of you.
No,
I understand.
I know. And so, like, I deal with a lot of... Like, I deal with depression. I've had a lot of shit that I've gone through in my life, and when I've gone through deep shit, like... music was the thing I went to when I was at my worst all the time. When I'm happy, I usually don't listen to a lot of music. And
That's bullshit. You listen to music all the time, even when you're. I mean, unless you're perpetually sad, constantly, every day.
I've been dealing with a really bad depression lately, so I think that's why I've been really attached to just listening to anything and everything right now. And so, a lot of bad things. I'm trying to think of like.
Green Day's American Idiot.
One good thing I associate The Middle by Jimmy World with my first kiss.
Oh, that's nice. Gold Digger was this song playing when I had my first kiss by Kanye West. Now, he wasn't saying she a gold digger.
Okay.
He was saying something else. So that song was playing when I had my first kiss. The Green Day American Idiot album I associate with Fred. Because Fred and I listened to the fucking every song on that album a million times because we saw them on the American Idiot tour.
So good.
It was our second concert. I also associate Linkin Park with Fred for some reason.
Okay.
Because we listened.
Because you just tried so hard.
And we got so far.
But in the end?
It didn't even matter. But we went to our first concert together was Linkin Park. Fred and I went to our first. Shocker. Fred and I did something together for the first time. We saw Linkin Park and Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
And Korn. It was a weird concert.
What else is going to be a weird concert?
What?
Blink-182 in Linkin Park. Have you heard about that?
No,
they're
but
forming into
sign me.
They're
up.
doing like a special event where they're turning into one band called Blinkin' Park.
Oh,
Yeah,
never
it's
mind.
bad.
Sign me back out.
Yeah, it's bad.
So I associate a lot of music with Fred because a lot of the music that I've ever
You guys grew up with each other.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
kind of tough to like.
Not
I also
associate with Fred?
I associate most of the events in my life with Fred.
Yeah.
Next question.
Sly at Cyclone MC.
Sly Clone.
Sly, thank you. Sly Clone MC asks, in light of it currently being Mother's Day, stories of strong female figures in your lives.
Easy answer is my mom.
Yep. My obvious answer is, the easy answer is my mother, who, my parents had me when they were both 20 years old, very young, and, my mom, they never married, so I wasn't born out of divorce. I wasn't a divorce kid. They just never married. So, so I was mainly living with her throughout all of my life. I would go see my dad every other weekend. And so looking back at it now, you don't, when you're a kid and you don't appreciate all the little shit that they do, but looking back and realizing my mom was a single mother, and we were in a tiny ass apartments, and she was working an IT job and trying to raise me, and then to see throughout my entire life her kick ass day after day after day, where the point where she is living in a big house now with a wife she's very happily married with. She's at a point in her career that she's really happy about. She was the director of IT for a company, and that's a fucking crazy accomplishment. So it was the entire time, throughout my life, it was she showed me where you can go, how far you can go, and right before I started BCG, I was still living down in San Jose with her. I lived here for a year after high school, and then I moved down to San Jose to move back in with her. And I remember I was sort of dicking around in college, and I wasn't working, and we had gotten into an argument where she was like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And at that point, I didn't know, but I knew back then I was 20, and I was at the age where she had a child, and she was living on her own. And I was like, I need to step my fucking game up, because she was able to do all. She was able
Different
to do,
times, but yeah.
No, I know different times, but it's also she was able to do all of this shit, and she, fucking accomplished so much, and so I felt like this, asshole who's still living with his parents at 20. And I know people have different fucking paths, and you need to do what you need to do, but for me, that was she was the example to lead by, so. I moved out, and, I moved in with Alyssa, who's another strong female person in my life, who I also don't think I would be here today if it wasn't for Alyssa. And 2 years later, I'm in my dream job, very accomplished at the age of 22. And, I don't think I would be there. I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for her raising me. So, yeah.
Yeah. Emma Stone's character in La La Land meant a lot to me. She really showed me that dreamers. No. I mean, my mom is the easy answer. She's a really strong woman who was in a drunk driving car accident when she was 30 or 29 or something like that, like 28. Was crippled for life. My mom's broke her spinal cord, fractured her skull, had her left leg basically disintegrated and had to be rebuilt with metal. So she's been handicapped my whole life. And you would never know it. Like seeing my mom, she totally.
Yeah, I met her last week, and
totally normal person. Yeah. Even though like doctors told her she'd never walk again, then doctors told her that if you have a kid, you will die, and the kid will be retarded, and only half of that was true. Yeah. And like it's one of those things where she perpetually proves everybody wrong. Yeah. So it's like it's good to have that in your life. And my mom raised me basically by herself for a large majority of my childhood. My dad was always there, and he's the best. I love my father more than anything. Yeah. But he works 65 hours a week. Yeah. So it's kind of tough. Yeah. So my mom would raise me. Exactly. And so I don't get gushy on Mother's Day because like I don't know, it's a fake holiday. But
all the holidays are fake holidays. If you think about it.
Yeah. Well, this one was like literally invented by the greeting card companies.
Nah, most of them are.
Not most of them.
Most of them are.
Some of them are like religious stuff, which is also just as dumb. But like, I mean, I try to.
I think the way we celebrate Christmas today is because of greeting card companies.
The way that people are so outwardly affectionate on Mother's Day to the point where it just looks a little like disingenuous. Where it's just like,
and that's why like I don't do that kind of shit. Like I posted on Instagram, like mom post for Mom Day. It's like my mom and I have always had that like weird humorous. Like we know how much we love each other, so we don't really need to say it. We just fucking crack jokes just because that's who we are.
And I'm not shaming anybody for doing that. It's just for me, it would be
don't mom shame.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mom shame.
Shout out to all the moms out there.
Yeah, so it's one of the. I mean, I love my mom. She knows that. Other strong women are like. I'm lucky enough to work with some of the strongest women that I've ever met. Like, I would not be here today if it wasn't for Kirsten Slater. Yeah, like working at IGN.
Fucking shout out to her. She's awesome.
Kirsten and Darren opened a lot of doors for me in my career, and I'm eternally grateful. Yeah. Seriously, like if it wasn't for I always say that, and she like laughs it off, but like. Very like it wasn't until I met Kirsten that I ever thought I would work at IGN. It was after I met her for the first time where I was like, "Oh, okay, I might be able to do that." Yeah. And like I'm surrounded by like Alyssa is my best friend, and like
she's children.
Yeah,
and it's
it's terrible. Yeah, I'm surrounded by. I think the gaming industry is this industry that's awesome because it has like these unbelievably accomplished, hardworking women. Where it's like. I work with Alana, and we're friends with Joey Noel, who's incredibly talented and does great work. And there's just so many women. I don't want to like leave anybody out, but like
as all of you
for our industry, we have incredible people working in it.
All right, any fictional woman that you want to shout out?
Lara Croft for showing me my first. Never mind. I don't know. I Princess Leia.
I think the one I just want to shout out, Hermione Granger.
Yeah, she's fine.
She's fucking awesome.
Emma Watson, though. Whew.
Also pretty dope. Yeah. She is, like, just in her life, where she's fucking working for the UN and all that shit. She's a great role model. Yeah, man, I was just thinking about at work, like, how many crazy, talented women we have there. Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's like I said, very blessed.
Yep.
Next question. Is that all the questions? Yeah, cool. Wrapping it up. Because it's very close to the first pitch.
Yep.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, if you guys want to support the show, make sure you go to Zero Life on YouTube and subscribe.
YouTube.com/ZeroLife.
There you go.
We lost that URL for like a day. It was really weird. And
I pointed to some other kid. Yeah. Fuck that guy. If you want to support me, go on Twitter. Follow me at Sean Twisters. Go to paypal.com. And no, I'm just kidding. Follow him on Twitter at Banana Chung. I don't have time to make fun of your name today. And make sure you go like, subscribe, share, do all the things.
And make sure you ask me more pirate questions for next week's show.
I swear to God, man. If this is a thing, I'm going to be so mad. If you're coming to Kind of Funny Live 3, make sure you guys hit us up. We want to hang out, talk to you guys. If you guys like the show, we have no idea why. Come
hang out for Kind of Funny Live 3, like with our Twitters and stuff. Hit us up, see what we're doing.
I'm always open. I was on Let's Do Work. Is that the name of the podcast?
Putting in Work.
Putting in Work. I'm so sorry.
Jono Pesh's podcast.
I'm so sorry for messing up.
I don't know when that is out. Wednesday. So it's
same day. So it's out right now. It'll be retweeted on my timeline. Make sure you guys go check that out. Support him. He's a really, really cool guy.
From Australia.
Who had to cross. He had to like get up early.
Yeah, dude.
And like I didn't. So shout out to him. We did a really cool interview if you want to hear more about my journey to IGN and stuff like that. Someone asked before they want us to talk about our jobs at IGN, like how we got them. I talked to a lot of people. Barrett knew me, and was super talented. That's the one.
That's not like the. No, it's the very quick like.
I'm just saying, if we had to sum it up in like 4 words.
Yeah.
I talk.
I talent.
You edit.
I talent.
All right. Thank you guys very much. Until next time, Batman, hit the music.